afternoon, our viewers. Welcome to Women Rise, Women at the Front Lines. My name is Naiga Madrin, and I'm so excited to be here once again. Yes, I hope you're all doing well and join us for this conversation. It is a mental health awareness month in Uganda, and so we are going to talk about issues to do with mental health. So join the conversation and feel at home. Today I have Mrs. Banadda'S Janet. She's a counseling psychologist and director at Perfect Therapy Center. Janet, you're welcome.
Thank you.
How are you, Jen?
I'm doing well.
Mental health in Uganda. Yes. I think these days we are seeing more of these conversations about mental health,
Yes.
which is something good. And it is the awareness month.
Sure.
So we are really so happy that you have come through to talk to our people. These conversations should not stop. I think these are conversations that people should listen to and involve themselves into every day and every time. When you get a chance to talk to a mental health expert, please do. And of course, because these things are everywhere in society, there's a lot of issues happening around us, and most times we don't even know what is happening. So we need these people around us to share with them, and they let us know how we are doing. So you're welcome, Jen, to
Thank
the
you.
conversation. We are so happy to have you, and please say hello to our viewers.
Hello, everyone. Nice to be with you, and I believe that you're going to enjoy the conversation.
Yeah. Okay, so Jen is a counseling psychologist, and she's a director at Perfect Therapy Center. They offer counseling services and psychosocial support to the young people in schools, adults, families, and employees, organizations, and companies. So if you need this kind of services to any of the groups that I've mentioned, Jen here is offering these services with her company, Perfect Therapy Center. Yes. So before we go into all these conversations about mental health, we want to, of course, first know about who Jen is. Where is she from? Jen, where are you from? How do you describe yourself?
Wow, thank you so much. Once again, Banadda'S Janet, but you can call me Jane.
Yeah.
I'm a mental health counseling psychologist, director at Perfect Therapy Center, located at Mengo, opposite Cathedral. Yes, and we offer counseling services in schools, organizations, companies, hospitals. Wow, thank you for the opportunity to talk about mental health,
Yeah.
especially in this month.
Yes.
Like I've told you, I'm Janet. I grew up in a family of 8, but the 3 boys, I did not bond so much with them. I grew up with the 5. We were 5 at home, and I happened to be the 3rd in them, so I was a middle child. And I somehow developed that loneliness and everything from the family. And this is something that so many families don't really, or so many people don't look into it. It is called sibling therapy. So many people neglect it, even the professionals, they don't talk about it, but it is there. So growing up in that family, at some point I felt I was lonely, I was neglected because I was not the firstborn, I was not the lastborn.
You're the middle child.
The middle child.
So
at that
children
point,
are always neglected. Yeah.
so that's how I felt.
Yeah.
Perhaps
Yes,
it wasn't true, but it made me feel like that, and it gloomed my personality at some point. So I grew up from that family. My mother was there, and she's still there, and my father, very loving, but still I had that feeling in me, and it made me grow up knowing that maybe for me I'm not loved. That is a feeling that so many middle children grow up with, because you're like, I'm not included in everything, I'm just a middle child, I'm not loved. Those are the feelings that can, you see how mental health is starting from even the young age. Yes, so I grew up from that family. It was a loving one, but of course with its challenges, and things moved on well. Yes.
Jen, your childhood experience, of course, you're telling us you're from that family, and then you're trying to show us how, you know, you were alone most of the times. Tell us more about your experience as a young woman. What are some of the things that, you know, made you to be so alone, or were the parents so busy? You're saying you come from a family of 8 siblings.
Wow.
This is a big family. Someone would
Yes.
you actually think that, you know, there is a lot of connection, yes, back and forth. So take us through your childhood experience as a young woman. Yes, some of the exciting moments, and then also the dull moments, and what brings you to, you know, that thing, particular thing that you mentioned, you were so alone. Why?
Thank you so much, Madrin. I really, I loved my family, and I still love it. My siblings were there. My mother was a busy lady. And my father, you know how fathers can be. My father loved me, but he wasn't present. When I say he wasn't present, he was there, but I didn't really feel him so much.
Busy,
Yes.
yes.
So my mother was a busy lady, and I always tell women, I always tell parents, let's create time to be with our children, create the special moment. Because growing up as a child, I had lots of questions, but I didn't have anyone to answer those questions. And perhaps there are some mistakes that I wouldn't have done as a child growing up. But because there was no one, when I went out, the world taught me a lot. Things that were true and those that were not true. So I've grown up to know that parents should be friends with their children, leave alone being a parent. But is there any connection or any relationship between you and your parents, so that I mean your child, so that your child can share with you what she's going through, the body changes? When I went into menstruation, there was no one to tell what I was going through. At some point I feared. I was like, oh my God, what is this? And when I went to my mom, she told, I know even when she watches this, she would be okay. She told me, go and ask your elder sister. And I didn't have that big connection. So I suffered a lot with lots of things like growing up, body changes, and my parents were there. When I became an adolescent, of course, you know, the things that come with the puberty and everything. There was no one, even at school, they were concentrating so much on academics. And so I had to run to the friends, and some friends, they didn't really give me the good information. You know, they also don't know. We are just figuring out life. So when I grew up, this thing really pushed me. Children go through a lot. And our parents are busy. Parents are busy. They don't have time, busy working, making money. But it is so painful. You're going to make money, but at the end of the day, the child that you're hoping, you're wanting to help, she's spoiled. Thank God I did not maybe get pregnant, but I did lots of things that if I had guidance, perhaps I wouldn't have done them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so your education background, where did you go to school? To take us through that journey, and then your inspiration to, of course, you're mentioning issues of loneliness when you're young, but then when you grow up, how do you decide to join this profession of, counselor?
Thank you so much. So I started in so many schools. Actually, in my primary, I studied in 5 schools, and then secondary, 7 schools. Yeah, I was...
second.
Yes, and that was traumatizing.
Secondary is
itself.
6 years.
Yes.
And then you're talking of 7
schools. I kept moving. But poverty is one of the cause of mental disorder. Yes. And
so this moving into different schools, what was the cause?
It was, of course, lack of money. My parents didn't have money, so I could move in different schools looking for sponsorships. And, you know, at this point you go in another school, they chase you. So I loved studying. I wasn't the cleverest girl. Actually, if I remember very well, in my family, I was the worst in performance, but I loved school. And this is one thing that has pushed me. And I want to tell any lady that is there, don't never mind about if you're not performing well, if not you are not the best, you can still make it. I was the worst performer in my family, but I'm the first one to have a master's degree.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. You see how things change?
Yes. And it is because of the passion that I had, and it pushed me. So I finished my primary in a school called Muyenje Primary School. It's deep there in Chiboga. That's where my parents took me. We got a family that was willing to take me off. After finishing, I went to secondary. Secondary was a bit hard. That's why I told you I moved in 7 schools. So in my senior 3, things became, after moving like in over 6 schools, life became a bit hard, and I was going to stop there. But I went in a school, it was called Nkumba College, by then on Ontario Road. I met a friend. She had an uncle who had a scholarship somewhere from a white, so we talked. She was also like in my category. We talked, and then we decided to go and meet that man. He had a school in Nakasongola, and we decided to go. I actually took my sister, my young sister. So we went, 3 of us. We introduced this man. He's called Tim. I'm so proud of him. So he offered scholarship to us, and that is when our life and my life changed. I started from the school, by then was called the Chitangala High School, but it is now called the Chitangala Transformational High School. I started from there, and I learned lots of things like character development. From that school, that character in me of counseling came out openly. I could find myself counseling those young people, because now I was from town. I went in a village. I found so many young people struggling. Yes. So it gave me the chance to talk to them. When I finished my senior 6, I did not pass well. I did not get the 5. I only got 5 principal passes. So I did not get, I got 5 points. I hope I'm clear there. So I didn't get the 2 principal passes that could take me to the university. So my sponsor told me, you know what, Jen, go and start on a certificate. So I started on a certificate in guidance and counseling. And now this is where I'm unique from maybe other people, other counselors and psychologists. Me, I started from a certificate in guidance and counseling. That is from YMCA. I went to Uganda Matters University, did my diploma in guidance and counseling. I went to Chambogo, studied guidance and counseling, my bachelor's. But I got married in there. In between. Yes, I continued studying. And I went back to Uganda Matters University and did my master's in mental health and counseling psychology, and I graduated last year. Wow. Yes, wow. So that one thing makes me unique, because I have been consistent in one course. And that is why I have passion in it, and I know what I'm doing. When I start to have a session with my clients, my God, I just know that there is going to be healing in the life of this client.
Wow. It's a beautiful journey. It's an inspiring journey, because Jen says she was one of the worst performers from her family. This triggers a lot, to you being alone all that time, and but also I'm so proud of you, because you kept going. Now you have a master's, which is really, really so brilliant. So if you're out there, you have a struggling child in class, don't give up on them. You should just encourage them. You never know where they'll end up. So Jen, take us through this career. When do you begin practicing your career as a counseling psychologist?
Wow, thank you so much. So I think I was someone who was very active when I finished my senior 6. The sponsor I told you has an organization. It's called Cornerstone. And I've been working in Cornerstone since my vacation. I started my senior 6 in 2008. So I was called upon to go in Cornerstone, their departments. So I was in this department called Youth Co. And there was a project looking care of the former prostitutes. We could go in the streets, look for those young girls who have gone to do prostitution just because they are looking for money. And we get those ones that are willing, we put them in the shelter. So I could mentor them. because by then I didn't have so much experience in counseling. But because I was in school, I could practice the skills to these young girls. So that's when I started working. I was counseling those former prostitutes. And it was nice to hear their stories, the reason why they went on the streets. So I also got the opportunity in there to counsel the street children because Cornerstone had different homes. So I went and also started to offer counseling services to one of the shelters in Cornerstone that was taking care of the former street children. We could go on the streets, pick the young ones that are willing to come, and then we shelter them, we mentor them, we teach them the principles of Jesus, and then we also counsel them. So my journey started from there. I went into another project still under Cornerstone, and it was called Banadda'S. Still they were taking care of the former prostitutes and then destitutes. So I exercised my skills from there. And then another project came called Rescue and More. In this project, I'm actually still there, but I'm transitioning fully to perfect therapy. But in that project, it has shaped me a lot. This is a project that is taking care of the sexually abused young girls and boys. So because there I had already the skills, I started offering counseling services to these young girls and boys and also their families. This has been so inspiring, and this job has made me to become who I am and also know that a lot is happening. There is a case I handled of a girl this girl was defiled. She's 2 years. She was defiled by a neighbor who was a big man, and the mother was so much traumatized because the defiler was a friend. This man could call this young girl and then take her in his room and then put mattresses in the mouth so that she could not shout.
Yeah.
So this girl used to inform the mother in her way, and actually what made the mother feel so bad was my girl used to tell me, but I couldn't believe her. I couldn't believe her. So the mother went into depression. The girl herself, her behavior has changed. Every time she was there, she could do weird things. So when I went to have a session with this, I was so broken because being a mother, seeing that young girl and also the mother, I administered sessions. And I remember using a therapy called EMDR. It's a therapy that we use in counseling. And this girl recovered. The mother, we went through a series of sessions, and then the guilt went away because she was guilty. She was blaming herself of whatever happened. You know, these people who defile our children, they are the people we know.
Yeah.
They are our neighbors, they are our brothers, they are,
you know,
yes, whom you cannot, because these are the people that the children trust. So when I handled this case, and then it was a success. The guy ran away. He's not in prison right now, but the case is still under investigation. But at least I can gladly say that the lady is now happy. She stopped blaming herself, and the girl went through a series of sessions, and she's now, those behavioral issues, she used to have dreams. She could see this man, and she could wake up at night, shout, cry, scream. So I took her through a series of sessions, and within like 1 month, there was change in the life of the girl and the mother. But this one takes us to parents being friends to our children.
To the children.
This mother kept telling counselor, I wish I listened to my girl, because she could tell her, Mommy, I don't want this man. Mommy is putting, and the girl kept taking the mattresses because that is what, you know, it was a terrible session. It was a terrible case, I can tell you.
I can imagine a 2-year-old, you know, trying to express what she's going through, but you don't even understand.
Yes.
Yeah, terrible. So, Jen, we are talking of mental health. This is a mental health awareness month. What is mental health in simple terms? What is mental health? What are some of the biggest or the commonest mental health disorders that at least people in society can easily identify and say, oh, this must be a mental health issue or case?
Wow, thank you. I think this is a very good question because people need to know. Like how we take care of ourselves. When we are not physically okay, we go to the hospital. And then we check and then we treat our bodies. But where do we go when we are not mentally fine? Being mentally fine is when you are able to do your routines, you're feeling okay, like you can contribute to the community, you know, because challenges are there. When you know that you are born, challenges are there. Even when you come into our sessions, we don't take away the challenges. But are you able to copy and live and enjoy the life, because this life is timely? Are we together? So it is very, very important to take care of our mental health. Like how we take, when we are spiritually down, we go to church, we go to mosque, and then we pray. But where do we go when we are not feeling fine? Have you ever noticed that one day you wake up and you are not feeling fine, but you don't know what has happened to you?
Yeah, because we don't know, Jen.
Yes,
we
because
cannot tell that, you know, I have a mental health issue.
God.
Yeah, we don't know. So how do we tell? In simple terms, how can one tell that this must be a mental health case?
Okay, it starts slowly by slowly. You just wake up one day and then you're feeling maybe you cannot do your routine well, but it comes from others. It comes from the things we went through. When we are still young, some of us, we are abused physically, maybe we are beaten, we are abused emotionally. You are told these words, you will never make it. We are abused psychologically, we are abused sexually, and these things don't go away. Even when we grow up, if we don't work on ourselves, those things don't go away. They are in our subconscious. They come, if a trigger comes back, if this girl or boy was defiled, and a trigger comes back when they are big girl, these are the people you will find that they will never even get married. Those prostitutes you find, never judge them. You don't know what they went through. During COVID, I counseled a girl who was a lesbian, and the reason why she was doing that, she was defiled by her father since she was 3 years. And this girl told herself, I will never, yes, with men, because they are bad. Like my father used me, defied me since, and then you tell me to. And this was a real father, you know. But talk about things like losing a beloved one. Sometimes we feel that it is okay, but some people don't grieve. Some people don't grieve, and then it comes back in future. Now those are some of the causes. Terrible accident. You get an accident and then you think it is over. Things are still there. Talk about poverty. Too much poverty. I told you that it brings mental disorder. Those are some of the things that bring, and we cannot avoid them. We cannot run away from them, because before you know it, they come and hit our lives. Broken relationships. Talk about those ones. Separations. Nowadays, you're seeing that parents are moving, are going abroad to make money because they want to. But that separation anxiety, children are there crying, they miss their mothers, they miss their fathers, they are in families where they are tortured. You see, all those are the causes of mental illness. And then you find someone develop anxiety disorders. Someone have depression. They go into depression, like you feel you are depressed, you are down inside, you cannot move on, you cannot do anything. But talk about genetical. Some disorders are genetical. Before, like people used to call it witchcraft. You know, have you ever seen families that have people who are not mentally okay, and they have not more than, not even only one person, but many? It is in genetic. Talk about bipolar, talk about schizophrenia. Those are all disorders that we can get from, which are biological. Yes, and those disorders are all manageable. People are going and start to take drugs, alcohol, and like I give counseling in schools, but children are taking drugs. Children are taking alcohol because of the family issues. So all the things we cannot run away from them, but how are we managing them? It is the point. How do we know that I'm not fine? You're seeing yourself, you're not doing the routines that you're supposed to do. You no longer want to, some people don't want to bathe. When it reaches a certain level, you find that other people become suicidal. They want to kill themselves. Life tends to cease meaning. They are like, I don't want to live anymore. They don't see any meaning in life. When someone is in school, those children, they are no longer perform well. They no longer
Jen,
want...
you talked of something that is easily anyone can understand.
Yes.
When you said that when people stop, bathing, you no longer want to bathe. That is something that is some of like those examples. Those are the examples that I want you to bring out.
You don't want to take care of yourself, like
yes, those are things you might just say, it's cold, I don't want to bathe.
Oh,
and then
my
you don't
goodness.
understand why someone has stopped doing a certain thing.
Yes.
So those small issues are the ones that grow into big
yes, someone was going to work, but nowadays they don't want to work. You have suddenly lost the appetite. You no longer want, you don't sleep, or you sleep too much. All those things. A person is overworking, and then the boss like, wow, but there is something wrong. Someone is going through something, and now they are coping with overworking. They work over hours. It is something to think about.
So all these things, you notice anything that is offline from your daily routine.
And it is not one day, it is not 2 days, it has gone to a week, it has gone to weeks. You notice there is something wrong. You no longer want to associate with your colleagues. You want to be alone. All those are signs. Yeah.
So when I get these small signs, these issues, what do I run to? Where do I start from?
Oh, that's a good one. You can start with recognition is very important. Knowing yourself, self-aware. You've been going through this, and it is now 1 week. You as a person, you have to ask yourself, because with the mental health, you have to be aware of yourself. You have to know, the way I'm doing the things I've been reacting, it is really different. Then if you can bounce back, and most especially, some people have the ability to bounce back, they recognize, others copy badly, they go and start taking alcohol. Now that one is bad. But knowing that I'm not okay, and then you bounce back, you start to do self-care, you go and do some exercise, you take a meal that you want, you share with a friend. There is power in talking. Sharing. Actually, the reason why we are having research is telling us that men commit suicide a lot. And why? They do succeed. Women try it more, but they don't succeed.
Men don't talk.
Yes, because men, they don't share.
Keeping, those problems to themselves.
Yes, if they have that in their mind, they plan without sharing with anyone. But for us women, we go and share, and they call it Lugambo. Before you know it, someone is coming to rescue. So, because that is how the culture raised them. How can a man speak about his problem? How can you cry? It is okay to cry. People, it is okay to bring out those emotions. It is okay to share with someone. It is not weakness. Share with a friend. If it is too much, go and talk to a professional. And then we start to administer therapies. Yes.
Okay. So, Jen, what should a client expect from you during the first session?
Okay.
Yeah, when someone comes in with a problem, what should they expect in the first session? And how long does, if someone is depressed, how long does the therapy take?
Oh. Okay, so in our therapy setting, the first session actually is the most longer one. Because in that session, we are taking history. I'm getting to know who you are. I have to first of all create a rapport with you, because you don't know me, I don't know you. You've had so many people that have broken that trust. So I'm building that trust again. Maybe perhaps you've shared something with someone and they have betrayed you. And now I'm here, a psychologist, trying to tell you please talk with me. It is okay. So I listen to you. What we do mostly, so many people don't have people who listen to them.
Yeah.
People judge them. People are not, like they don't have time to listen. In this busy world, there is no one there to listen to you. You know, you go to someone to tell them what you're going through, they end up telling you their
Sharing your
problems.
problems.
Yes, you
Yeah.
get. So for me, I give you time to listen to you. I give you time to cry. You are allowed to cry in a session. So that session takes 1 hour to 2 hours. And you tell me who you are, and then you present the problem. There is what we call presenting problem. But also in that session, we get what we call actual problem. You could be coming with a different problem, that is the presenting problem.
Yet it's another
Yes,
problem.
yet it is another. So I hope
Yeah.
you to discover, oh, so I feel like this kumbe, the real problem is this. And then in other session, we get to know the therapies to use, how many sessions we are supposed to have. But in most cases, the minimum sessions are 8 sessions. And this first session is in perfect therapy. It is 150, the initial session, and then the follow-up sessions, they are 100.
Okay.
Yes, but trust me, it is worth it. Because before you know it, there are lives that are rescued. There are so many people that are wanted to commit suicide, but the moment we sit into sessions, they really discover. For us, we don't make for our clients decisions. Also, we don't give them solutions, but we make them to understand, look, there is another thing that I can do. It's not, my life is not worth it taking away, you know, and that one gives me satisfaction. Yeah.
How do you handle clients from different backgrounds? You know, someone comes with a different background and then different problems. How do you handle these clients?
Wow. So in counseling, in university, as I was studying, there is a course unit we started called multicultural counseling. We handle clients with these different cultures, and we are not supposed to judge. I come from a Muslim background, but I counsel so many clients who work from Christian background. I even counsel those ones that don't believe in anything. And it is okay. I don't impose my culture on the client, to the clients. Like I told you of a client that I counseled. There is also another client I counseled who was a lesbian, and she came to me. Her problem was not lesbian. Her problem, she had depression, and trust me, we handled the depression. I did not counsel her, please leave this, because that is what she believed in. Me, I don't believe in loving a fellow women, but I couldn't, because that was not her problem at that time.
Her problem was
depression. Her problem was family issues and other things, and those are the things that we handled. So I don't impose my culture on other people. But also in counseling, there is what we call referral. There are cases that I do refer, that I see, oh my God, I can't handle, or there is counter transparency. Because as a person, I went through some things, and when I meet a client, perhaps I'm just going to end up judging because of what I went through. You get? So counseling, I mean, referring is part of counseling, and if there is any counselor or psychologist who does not refer, then they don't know what they do. Yes.
And now you talk of, you know, you refer, and then some things you can't handle.
Yeah.
What makes a counselor a good counselor?
Wow. First of all, being a good listener. And then confidentiality. You know, someone tells you something they have kept for years. And then they are opening it to you. In counseling, confidentiality is key. When you come into my session, I assure you of that. There are only 3 ways where confidentiality is broken. And I always tell my clients, when there is life-threatening, someone is talking of committing suicide. If they do, and the law gets to know that the counselor knew and they did not do anything, OSHA, I mean, I can go into prison. Maybe putting harm on other people, like their clients who come and they're like, I'm going to kill this person. Yes, we help them, but their confidentiality is bound to be broken. And also destroying a property. Those are only where confidentiality is broken. Otherwise, if you come into my session, I listen to you, I assure you of confidentiality, I move with you in the journey of healing, you know, and also I make sure that at the end of the day, you get what you've come to get in the sessions. And if I find that things, the way we are moving, things are not moving on well, perhaps you need another therapist that can help you, I refer you. Yes.
Yeah, okay. What are some of the misconceptions you hear around about counseling and therapy? Because these days we have so many counselors.
Yeah.
So many counselors have come up. So many counseling centers have come up. What are some of the misconceptions about your work?
Wow. Like in Africa and in Uganda, to be specific, people think that counseling is for for those people from outside.
Yeah.
And like I've told you how our culture has groomed us, how can I go and talk to someone? Like I can finish up my issues. I can finish up my, but trust
I will
me.
keep quiet.
Yeah, I will keep
Time
quiet.
will pass by.
COVID, for us, it was a blessing in disguise. It opened up everything. It showed people that, look, it is not witchcraft. Yeah, before people thought that when someone is mentally not okay, they are bewitched, you know. They talking about issues, and this is where the problem comes in. People think that, how can I pay money to just go and talk
Go and
my
talk,
problem?
yes.
Yeah, you know. But now, those ones that have really seen the results, they are the ones that you refer. And also, people think, especially men, how can a man go and speak to a woman, you know? But you have therapists who are male.
Yeah, yeah.
And we give you the options. If you want a female therapist, you can. If you have a male therapist, it is okay for you to go and talk about it. You know, and this is helping us so much. So, but before, people were like, how can a man speak? Like it is being weak. Speaking of your problems or what you're going through, it is being weak. Those are some of the misconceptions that people have. People always feel that I can handle, and before you know it, they are breaking down and they are coping up with taking alcohol, with taking drugs, with going into behaviors that are not good. And now also when you have children and they are in school, schools are now telling them how important it is, because parents don't have time to parent their children. They just send them to school, and then it is the school to figure it out. And now they are getting to know that really mental health is real. People are committing suicide, and before they knew it, you know, it was like a curse. It was like it is in the family and it is biological and what, but now they are getting to know that mental health is real and we can really handle it on the initial stage. Yeah.
Okay, you talk of suicide. We have a lot of suicide cases in Uganda currently. Yes, what are some of the triggers, you know, that have made these cases increase day by day? And we see a lot happening in schools. Yeah, these are small children. What could trigger these young souls into such thoughts?
I think in schools it goes back to parenting. Parents don't give time to their children. Parents are not friends to their children. Parents are busy looking for money. But it is so painful. You're going to make that money, and at the end of that day, you're going to spend that money on your child. Parents, create time for your children. Listen to them. They go through a lot. They have lots of questions, and the world is going to teach them otherwise. Be open. Talk about sex. It is not a crime. Talk about body. You listen to them, because the world we are in, it is moving so fast. Like in this era, there is a lot of things that those children know that we even don't know. So when you keep back, the world is going to teach your child otherwise. So the parenting, that is one of the things. But also these days, like, poverty is too much. People are looking for money and they are forgetting, and they are doing anything they can to get the money. So they end up hurting themselves, and at the end of the day, mental issues, depression, anxiety, and everything. Talk about the pressures in school. A child is like they don't have time to rest. The schools are too busy because for them they want results. You get my point? So all those pressures of the world, they have put a lot on us. And there is no way we are going to work on ourselves. People are caring about their physical health, they are caring about their spiritual life, but they are not taking care of their mental because they don't know. And that is why we move in schools, in hospitals and organizations to do mental health awareness so that people know. So that we don't see them in Butabika. There is a lot. I did my internship in Butabika, but young people are there. Like they have resorted to drugs as a coping mechanism. We can find other ways rather than taking drugs and marijuana and other things. Yes.
Yeah, and then you talk of coping mechanisms, but before we come to that, how can people prioritize self-care? How can we do that?
Wow, self-care is not selfish. We should know that. When you make money, now like you a big person, when you make money, get some portion and pay yourself. That one that you're eating is actually your own money, because the other money you're going to spend it. Go go to the beach, like go to a trip. You know these whites, they God, for them they can save some money for December to just go out. But you know, you are in Uganda, people are coming from outside to tour your country. There are places you've never visited. You know, that is self-care. Love yourself. Spend time alone. Listen to music. Personally, I love country music. And there are moments I just lock myself in a room and then listen to country music. And then, you know, I'm feeling good. Take a shower. Go. Some people want to be underwater. Go on the lake. Move besides the lake. Have quiet time. Meditate. If you don't know how to meditate, you come for sessions and then we teach you guided meditation. Spend time with loved ones. I know the world is taking us speed, but create time for your family. You know, create time for your friends. Spend time with your friend. Don't work. Last time I had burnout at work, and this is because I had too many cases and I was the only psychologist in that workplace, and I went into burnout. And so many people in workplace, they experience this. You know, you're carrying out someone's vision, you don't sleep. Like every time I could just move out from my bed, run to work, and before you know it, I went into burnout. Know when to say no. You know, it is very important. Be it a relationship, be it at work, be it like learn to say no. It is okay not to be okay. Are you able to realize that I'm not okay? And then I have to step back. You know, I had that challenge. I was this person who didn't have no in my mouth, like everything, and people took me for granted. Are you this person that they will call you at last minute? Jen can stand in, you know. People take you and then take you for granted, and then you end up exhausting yourself. Have principles. Love yourself better. And I think this came as a result of being a middle child. I always thought that wherever I get the opportunity, I could be there. But it helped me. Come for sessions and you get to know who you are, self-awareness, and you start loving yourself. You start prioritize. You make, you know how you're going to spend your day. Yes.
Now you talked of understanding yourself or knowing who you are.
Yes.
How can children accept and understand themselves? You also deal with children.
Yes.
How do you help these children understand and know who they are, and in particular a girl child, because there is a lot that comes with, you know, girl children and then growing up.
Yeah. By the way, growing up as a girl child is not easy. I always tell my clients, it is not easy. I went through a lot. I went as a child. I went through. At some point, I was defiled, and this is the reason why I got the passion to help young girls and of course boys, because they are also defiled. But it is not easy to grow up as a girl. There is a lot, because you're growing up but someone is seeing you as their property.
Yeah.
Someone is looking at you, but you even don't know what you're doing because you're still young, but someone is looking at you as a property. So growing up as a child is, and going through into all those hard things and, you know, becoming someone that is really wants to be important in life, achieve your dreams, parents have to affirm those affirmations. Let your children, tell them, how often do you tell your children that you love them? You know, always affirm them, tell them that you are very important. I love you. Parents don't listen to their children. They always blame them. You know, like I've told you, they don't have time to listen to their children. They don't have time to communicate to their children. Have time, affirm them, listen. Sometimes stop judging. There is listening and judging. Parents, stop judging your children. Listen to them. They also have like values. They have ideas. Listen to them. When you're going to make a meal, sit with them down and tell them, what should we eat? Involve them, because they are human beings. So this is going to help them a lot, and also learn to discover. Yeah, involve them in decision making. Let them know that they are valued. Let them know that they are important in the family. And when they come back from school, listen to their stories. Be friends to their friends as well. But as parents, we don't want to know the friends of our children. That is so bad. Yeah.
So Jane, you talked of so many issues. How do we cope with these issues? Some of the coping skills, the easiest everyone can, you know, adapt and practice. Where they are?
Yeah, I think I've mentioned some, like taking care of yourself, knowing what you want, having an hobby. It is really important. Like me, sometimes when I know that things are not moving on well, I take a back step and then go and rest. I told you I love country music. I go and listen to country music. I eat a best dish. I love cooking. Know what is your hobby? Me, I love eating, and I love cooking. So there are moments that I come from work and I know I'm very exhausted. I will just go into my kitchen and then cook. By the time I end cooking and eat food, I'm okay. Know what makes you happy. Some people love swimming. Create that time. Like, create that time, know what you love most and do spend time with friends. Stop being indoor always. Have a walk, you know. Do some exercise. Exercise is very important. Meditate. Do some meditation. Spend time alone.
How is exercise connected to mental health? Because
our mind is connected to the body. If your body is weak, definitely your mind will be weak. Yeah, that is the connection. So always have some time and go and do exercise. Run to bring the sweats outside, and before you know it, everything, like, know what brings back the energy. Some people go and take alcohol. It is not a good coping mechanism. Know when to rest. Have enough rest. People in Uganda don't sleep. A normal person should at least sleep for 8 hours. At least, and they are very important. But you are always on social media. Know the time you're supposed to be on social media. You're always on social media. Even when you go back home, you don't give time for your children. You are on phone. Those are the things that really disturb our mental health.
Yeah, quite important. So, how long have you been in this career? How many years?
Like I've told you, I started counseling in 2008. Yes, so they are like 15 years, if I'm not mistaken. And I really love what I'm doing.
The experience must be there. So what signs, you know, show that counseling is working? Yes, and tell us, how do you measure progress with some of your clients?
Okay, seeing someone bouncing back. Yes. Someone gaining hope at the end of the sessions. You know, our clients, most of them who come to us, they have lost hope. And if someone has lost hope, they are literally dead. I've seen my clients gained hope, going back to work, going back to school, performing, making right decisions, you know, not committing suicide, yet they had all the plans and steps of committing suicide. To me, that is a success, and I've seen it. Yes.
Yeah. And Uganda as a whole, what should we do, you know, starting from people in society, the government, our leaders? What do you think we should do to make these conversations, mental health awareness month? We only have May, but then this should be a routine, a continuous thing. What do you think should be done to engage everyone in society as a whole to understand these issues better?
Talking of Uganda, right now, by the way, we are 14 million Ugandans who have mental issues when you look at the statistics. Yes. So what I should tell the government, let's have counselors in schools. That thing is very important. Those children there go through a lot. Organizations, companies, let's embrace counseling. If you have a company, do you have counselors in your organizations? If you cannot afford, at least let them come like maybe thrice a year. We do mental health assessment. That is one of the tools that we use. Do you have that tool in your organization that counselors, I mean your workers, are able to tell how they are with the status they are in mentally? And also, like as an employee, it is very important to know how your yes, they are doing. You know, it is not all about work, because someone who is not mentally okay, they are not going to deliver. Let's embrace counseling. There is no health without mental health. That one, I'm very sure. There is no health without mental health. And someone cannot deliver, someone cannot study, someone cannot bring the output when they are not mentally okay. Let's embrace counseling. It's no longer witchcraft. If someone is not delivering, are you able to find out?
Why?
Refer that employee to counseling services. At the end of the day, your company is going to gain. You get? So if from the roots, if the government can put, and I know they are working upon this, the mandate is going to come soon. They can put counselors in each school. They make it like so that even counselors by the way get jobs, because they are just there maneuvering, and yet they have skills. Those people, children and students, are there suffering. Schools for them, they want results, and no one is going to sit there to listen to you. You know, so if that one could be done, we are good to go. We are going to have better citizens. Trust me.
Right from the school.
Yes.
So this will grow up as, you know,
sure.
citizens.
And for us as Perfect Therapy, we sensitize people. We move in organizations, in companies, in schools, in communities, and we sensitize people about mental health. We take mental health screening, and people get to know. It is an app that is online. You just get your results there and then. Okay,
so you mentioned therapy counseling center, Perfect Therapy Center. How do people reach you for this kind of services?
Wow, thank you so much. We are located in Mengo, opposite Namirembe Cathedral, and we are in Crane offices, that Crane facility. That's where we are located in, and our offices are open to everyone. So you just come. You can also reach us on 0774 48 0774 48 68 04. That's our WhatsApp number, but you can also call it, and you can also reach us on Airtel 0706 0706 92 21 54. Yes. Right. We are also on we have our website. It's called Perfect Therapy Center, www at perfecttherapycenter.com. Yeah, so you can reach out to us. Come and we talk. it is okay not to be okay.
Not to be okay.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And finally, with your experience, you're doing a lot, you meet a lot of people. How do you handle, you mentioned you have a family, how do you handle all this as a woman? Because this is part of, mental
Yes.
well-being. How do you plan your day? How do you handle family, your work, and all that?
Yeah, it is not easy. Like I told you last year, I went into burnout, which shows that I failed somehow to manage.
Yeah.
But it gave me an opportunity to also learn to plan. As a woman, you should learn how to plan your day. You should learn to know what am I doing at what time. But also, as a counselor, I have my personal counselor. Yes. You know, we go
also
through
have a counselor.
yes. So going and checking how you're doing mentally.
Because handling all these things in your
Yes.
head, there are so
Sure.
many issues of people can also be quite challenging.
There is counter transparency,
Yeah.
a lot. So as a woman, you should take care of yourself, loving yourself. Don't be mixed in a family. You take care of children, your husband, and you forget to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
My dear women, you are the engine of this family. If you are not mental okay, it is going to spread in the whole family.
Yeah.
You're going to find that your children are not going to be fine. Your husband is not going to be okay. And when the husband is not okay from home, everything is going to be scattered. Even when they go at work, you will see that. So it is very important as a woman to make sure that you're fine, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. First,
You cannot
fill that
give what
cup.
you don't have.
Yes,
Yeah.
you cannot give. Do you love yourself? Express, go out with the girls, create that time, enjoy, so that it helps you as a person. You are going to be able to go and pour to the children, to the husband, and everything. Nowadays, you were wife, you are a worker somewhere, you were mother, and we end up sinking in there, and then we forget ourselves.
Yeah.
Buy that nice dress, put it on. Do some makeup, go with the girls outside, enjoy, fill that cup so that you can be able to pour.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jen, for all that. It has been a very beautiful conversation. We are really so grateful. These conversations should be, continuous.
Sure.
And here at Women Rise, we believe in the power of sharing, storytelling. She mentioned that, sharing is one of the therapy that you can take on as an individual. Yes. So we are really so grateful to Jen for coming through. It has been a wonderful session. Yes, we got, many tips from you. And we look forward to engaging with you more. Yes, your last remarks to your people, your family, your clients.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. I want first of all to thank you for this opportunity. I know the world is seeing me, and they have gotten to know, perhaps someone was there and they didn't even know what mental health is, what mental illness is. But this opportunity has opened a lot of people's eyes. So I pray that don't die in silence. Please come and we talk about it. Like I've told you, it is okay not to be okay. For the children there, parents, it's now holiday. Bring those children for counseling. And don't wait, don't wait for someone to become wild. Or we can prepare them. We have preparation sessions. Just sensitization. We let them know about self-awareness, body changes, body touches. All those are sessions that help a child before even because we don't want again to only look at those ones who are already in problems. Bring them. And for parents, please create time for your children. I've learned that and it is working. Yes, I'm showing it to my children, and I know they at the end of the day, they are proud of the mom that they have. And I want your children also to be proud of you. Not to say that mommy went and made money, but at the end of the day, you did not give. Separation anxiety is real. Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much. I'll leave you with this quote. It says you are not what happened to you, you are what you choose to become.
Sure.
Yes, from Civic Space TV, we wish you all the best. This is a Mental Health Awareness Month. Engage more into these conversations and get to know what this is all about and what triggers mental health. You deserve to be better. Yes.
Sure.
My name is Micah Madrin. I've been your host. To the production team, thank you so much. And to you, our viewers, thank you for always coming back to Civic Space TV, Women Rise, every Saturday at 3 p.m. See you next week. Bye.